on going. Jesus has still called you, so keep on going. Romans 11:29 says, for the gifts and the calling of God are irrevocable. The gifts and the calling of God are irrevocable. It's irreversible. It's unchangeable. You know what I love most about this passage? I love the fact that Jesus doesn't condemn Peter's past. Jesus doesn't rub his nose in his sin like, hey, Peter, remember the other night? Remember when you denied me to that teenage girl at that fire pit? Like, Peter, really? You did that? No, Jesus doesn't even bring it up. Jesus doesn't remind Peter of his past. He reminds Peter of his calling. They get done with breakfast, and Jesus and Peter have this moment. Jesus says to Peter, Peter, do you love me? Peter's like, yes, Lord, I love you. He says, feed my lambs. Again, Jesus says, Peter, do you love me? Yes, Lord, you know that I love you. Take care of my sheep. Third time, Jesus is like, Peter, do you love me? Peter's like frustrated at this point. Peter's like, Lord, you know all things. You know that I love you. Jesus says, feed my sheep. The invitation to Peter to affirm his love drowns out the echoes of his denial. I mean, the last time Peter stood over a fire, he denied Jesus 3 times. And here he is standing over another fire, affirming his love for Jesus 3 times. The smell of smoke no longer a reminder of condemnation and failure, but of a future and a calling. What is Jesus doing here? Jesus is restoring Peter. It says in Jeremiah 31:25, God says, I'll refresh tired bodies. I'll restore tired souls. He's redeeming Peter. It says in 1 Peter 1:18 that we're redeemed from that empty way of life. He's reminding Peter and reminding us that we're still called. Reminding us that he's still with us. Reminding us that he's got great plans for us. Reminding us that we're still chosen. That he's still graced you. You're still his son. You're still his daughter. He's got big things in store for you. He's saying, I'm still here with you. I'll still provide for you. I know you feel like you're finished, but I'm not finished with you. Jesus meets him right where he was at. I remember a few years ago in my life, just going through this season where I started to doubt my own calling. Just started to doubt my own purpose and own place in all of this. And I remember just feeling so just discouraged on the inside. I remember just getting insecure about like the stupidest of things and just starting to compare myself with everyone. And I remember just feeling so tired on the inside. And I was the kind of tired that no sleep could fix. I mean, my soul was tired. My soul was weary. I remember God just meeting me right where I was at, beginning to strengthen me from the inside, reminding me that I was still called, that he's still chosen, that he's still got a plan for my life. I believe that today that Jesus wants to meet you right where you're at. Jesus wants to remind you that he doesn't condemn you, so don't condemn yourself. Wants to remind you that he still called you, so keep on moving. In the same way Jesus came back for Peter, I want to encourage you tonight and remind you that Jesus will never stop coming back for you. Jesus will never stop loving you. He'll never stop believing in you. The same way Jesus stood on that shore, calling out to Peter, I believe that he's calling out to you tonight. He's standing on the shore of your doubts, standing on the shore of your uncertainty, standing on the shore of your worry and your fears, and he wants to remind you that he doesn't condemn you, wants to remind you that he still called you, so keep on going, keep on moving, keep on believing, keep on trusting, keep on hoping. Don't back down, don't give in, because God is not finished with you. The God who created the heavens and the earth is not finished with you. The God who painted the stars in the sky and knows them all by name is not finished with you. The God who holds the galaxies in his hand and holds your life in his hand is not finished with you. He's not finished with your dreams. He's not finished with your influence. He's not finished with your health. He's not finished with your finances. He's not finished with your family and your relationships. God's got unfinished business with you because he's got unfinished business for you. He wants to strengthen you tonight. Wants to refresh you tonight. Wants to restore you tonight. Wants to equip you and empower you so that you can do all that he's called you to do and be all that he's called you to be. God is not finished with you. I want to read you this passage in Isaiah as we close tonight. This is what God says. Don't be afraid. I've redeemed you. I've called your name. You're mine. When you're in over your head, I'll be there with you. When you're in rough waters, you will not go down. When you're between a rock and a hard place, it won't be a dead end. Because I am God, your personal God, the Holy of Israel, your Savior. I paid a huge price for you. That's how much you mean to me. That's how much I love you. I'd sell off the whole world to get you back. Trade the creation just for you. Every head bowed, every eye closed in this place.